Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21 and continuing on with our Moto3 career mode. This time it's Aragon for round 14. So here in Aragon, in the magnificent Spanish track right near Alcaniz. Really awesome track that it took me a while to get used to back in the day when it first arrived. I think it first came onto the MotoGP calendar in about 2011. Might have been 2010, but I'm going to say 2011 as we get closer and closer to Ryusa Yamanaka there. Goodness me, that has almost messed up the lap time already, and we've only done, well, we've not even done one lap yet. This is my very first sighting lap here in Aragon on board the Moto3 machine, using the Husqvarna, of course. World Championship lead is still in our back pocket for the time being after a very difficult outing in Silverstone. I will not spoil the results, of course, but I guess maybe I already have, kinda, but I would still recommend you grab your favourite beverage or a tin of spaghetti hoops and chill out and watch the Silverstone Grand Prix, because it was absolutely brilliant, as most of the Grand Prix this season in Moto3 career mode have been extremely exciting and very entertaining. As much as it is for me, guys, as much for you. Of course, I'm doing the racing, and of course I get the honour to then do the commentary afterwards. It's really good. So I do hope you're enjoying it. I've had a lot of positive feedback recently regarding these Moto3 career mode videos, so I am super pleased that you guys are enjoying it, at least as much as I am, because it's been really awesome. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm hoping Moto2 and MotoGP will be able to replicate the success we've had in Moto3, and as far as the actual competition goes, it's been really challenging, especially in Power Setting 1. That has made all the difference. Speaking like G-Man from Half-Life when I say it makes all the difference. If anyone got that reference, thumbs up to you in the comment section down below. So we were missing out by 0.2 of a second behind Jama Masia's time, which was a 2:01.252. So we're looking roughly at around 2:01.4. We'll see how this lap progresses, because I'm a little bit concerned from the actual straight. We were 0.2 down into Sector 4. Now obviously the completion of Sector 4 is upon us as we get onto the left hand side for turn 17, and then across the line we will go in a moment's time, and we lost only 1/10. That is really positive stuff. I'm really pleased with that one, because I was a little bit worried as we go a little bit wide into turn 1 and we lost the front. Oh, this has got to stop happening. Another crash into free practice session. I'm very much like Marquez in this regard. I will push into the practice sessions and really find the limit, and once I've found that limit, I'm good. I'm fine with that. I won't make that same mistake again, but it's got to stop happening, because it's costing the team way too much money, and I don't think they're impressed with my constant crashes. Maybe it's a British thing. Shout out to Cal Crutchlow as well. Of course, he liked to do a few crashes, but then have some wonderful races as well. I think Luca Cecchinello said he cost that company quite a lot of millions for all his crashes throughout the years. But I still love Cal Crutchlow anyway, so who cares about the crashes? Now onto the right-hand side for turn 7, getting in behind championship rival Darren Binder. He has probably really moved ahead of Gabriel Rodrigo. It's probably looking at these two gentlemen for the actual fighting for the championship itself. However, there is still quite a lot of points on offer. There's still quite a few rounds to go, and the competition is still heating up. Jama Masia seems to have really shown his colours now. Pedro Acosta sort of fallen off a little bit, but he's still there in the championship hunt. John McPhee is probably out of it now, as the same as Andrea Minio. But there's probably around 4 or 5 riders who could still compete for the championship, as we go a little bit wide there and just touch the outside of the track. That green part of the track does invalidate your lap the second you touch it. So there you go, that lap has been invalidated. But we're still behind Darren Binder, as we made a little bit of another mistake there going into turn 14. Now turn 15 to be navigated pretty nicely, getting onto the rumble strip. But we have fallen off the wayside a bit there. Nowhere near Darren Binder to use his slipstream, and that was the biggest telling point that I really needed to see. How much of a difference can we get if we get in behind Darren Binder, or any other rider for that matter, and steal a bit of slipstream? Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to see it here, and we're not going to be able to test out the limits. So we'll get across the line and get in another lap, and fingers crossed we can improve. Now, I will confess, I am a little bit concerned about our race pace in this one, because I think if we lose the toe at any point in this Grand Prix tonight at 8 PM, things could be a little bit difficult in the sense of chasing the front runners. We're going to have to get the best qualifying session possible and get into turn 1 in the best position possible as well. So therefore either take the whole shot or get right in behind, tucked in behind the leaders. It's quite imperative to make sure that we get a good lap in. And especially for qualifying, we have to get on the front couple of rows at the least. because you know yourself, you've seen the video so far, when we're running power setting 1, because of course that's the only power setting we do run, so if you are new, we only run power setting 1. That just makes it a way more entertaining and more interesting for everyone and anyone. So we'll see how we get into turn 1, but of course turn 1 is a very short run, which could really go in our favour. If you remember Le Mans, that was extremely difficult because it has a very long start. And of course in MotoGP, they didn't even use the whole shot device due to the nature of that corner that leads into turn 3 and 4. So we will see how things go, but I know Catalunya was also a bit of a disaster. Mugello was a disaster as well, as we were up by almost 0.3 of a second into Sector 2. Getting onto the left-hand side of the tyre for turn 12. Be very careful on that corner, it's extremely easy to lose the front. Many games before, like such as Valentino Rossi the game and MotoGP 17 I think, I made quite a few frequent mistakes into that one, so do be careful going into there. As we go into turn 15, are we up again? We're up by 3.5 of a second, so that little sector there we do improve by just about 1/10 of a second, or just less than. But now giving it full throttle, the tyres are looking a little bit weak on the left-hand side, both the front and the rear. We are using the medium combination as we go into the left-hand side for the braking of turn 16. Hold the line, smooth acceleration. You might see the acceleration drop a little bit and then reapply to then fire it over to turn 17. Get in near the rumble strip or just line the bike straight, get across the line, and it's going to be top position. Now, honestly, I didn't see that coming, but Grant takes the fastest spot on the leaderboard right now in free practice 3, quickest with a 2:7.82, and John McPhee trailing behind by 3.5 of a second. So it's now qualifying time right here in the Motorland Aragon circuit. Of course, it is qualifying 2. We'll be moving straight up there after setting the fastest lap of the session in free practice 3. So here are the riders who will be joining us into qualifying 2, Nicola Antonelli, Yamanaka, Guevara and teammate Romano Fenati. So 6 minutes remaining of this qualifying session. We have some used tyres in. I did a lap a moment ago and unfortunately I invalidated it. So and it gave me the next lap was now invalidated too, so I headed back to the pits and changed the tyres, or at least kept some similar tyres on. I don't want to go for brand new tyres because I think it gives us a little bit too much of an advantage sometimes. As we go onto the right hand side for the Carlos Checo corner for turn 3. Now going onto the left hand side for turn 4. Difficult braking zone this one because you're sort of braking on the left hand side of the tyre, but as long as you keep the tyres parallel as you brake into the left hand side and don't brake too abruptly, you'll be absolutely fine to navigate turn 5. Now onto the right hand side for turn 7. Really easy corner to make a mistake on, to be honest with you. It can be really deceiving going in because again you're braking on the right hand side of the tyre, so the opposite of turn 4 you're sort of braking on the opposite side. Now into turn 8. Difficult chicane to nail. There is your long lap penalty, by the way. Fingers crossed we won't be tackling that tonight at 8 PM. Now turn 10. I do believe this has been renamed the Marc Marquez corner, or is it turn 11? I do recall this getting changed, but it's never actually been updated in the video game. I could have swore it happened, but I might have been wrong. It might have just been for a weekend or something. I'm not too sure. But I do recall them rechanging that to Marc Marquez corner as we go into turn 12. A little bit wide and just touched the green. That is a mistake so easy to make. I've made that twice already in this this weekend, or at least this race session, or qualifying session, let's say, or the practice session and qualifying session. So this lap will of course not count. We were down by just under 0.3 of a second to Tatsuki Suzuki, the man who stole pole position off us in Silverstone, you cheeky mare. As Pedro Acosta now takes off the top spot with a 2:9.66. Of course, we know what to beat. We know what to tackle next, so we'll continue to push forward and do what we do best, and that is take pole position. We've had quite a few pole positions this season, and I am loving it. I do like to take the top spot, and I'm happy that it's not been just complete annihilation. It has been quite challenging on a lot of occasions, as Rodrigo is on a very quick lap. Binder is also on a very quick lap, and John McPhee is now the fastest man on the right. Oh, never mind it. Darren Binder has already pipped him to it. Darren Binder, the fastest man on track right now with a 2:7.27. Right hand side for Carlos Checo for turn 3. Now we'll get ready to navigate turn 4 and turn 5. Difficult left and left-handers. It's got difficult to say there. Onto the left hand side for turn 5. Fire it out. You can go to the rumble strip and then hold the really tight line in, but it's difficult to then organise yourself for turn 6 and turn 7. We now get onto the right hand side for turn 7, dropping it down to second gear. Right hand side of the front tyres took a little bit of a hounding, of course it will do on those particular right hand corners, as we get onto the next right-hander to then flick it to the downhill chicane for the left-hander of turn 9. It's kind of a very small corkscrew, that one, if you will. Shout out to Laguna Seca. Now onto the left-hand side, Grant practically hanging off that Husqvarna, really holding on, pushing it as much as we can. Power setting 1, of course, we have to give it full throttle. It does make the acceleration easier, so I guess in its own way it does make it a little bit easier for me. As we get onto the left-hand side for turn 12, a little bit out of shape, but onto the rumble strip, we're okay. As long as we don't touch the green, we'll be absolutely fine. Shout out to Dennis on Chew ahead of us and Jam and Masia. I don't expect them to stay there in 16th and 17th respectively. I'm sure they will improve their laps, as John McPhee said of personal best sector 1, but wasn't able to continue it for the rest of the lap. Grant, 75 thousandths of a second slower than Darren Binder as of yet. We'll be using everything we've got towards the next part of the section for sector 4, but of course you can see that we are losing a bit of ground here, especially in such a long fast sector. As we get to the left-hand side for turn 16, many left-hand corners where you have to really hold the power on and then get ready to then rocket it towards the final finish straight. Here we go, lining the bike up, both wheels are parallel across the line, we go! 6th place. Not too bad, we did lose a whopping 0.3 of a second in that final sector alone though, so that is quite concerning. As we'll do everything we can now to try and get back into the front row positions. Second row is not the end of the world, but we want to be on the front row, you know that, I know that, it makes more sense to be there. So we got a little bit wider to Carlos. Oh, goodness me, we went too tight. We have done that a few too many times this season. We've gone a little bit wide, we've gone too tight. In this instance, unfortunately, we went too tight and touched the rumble strip of Carlos Checa. And I think that might be session over. And I also just realised something. Why did we not have to pick up the bike with the bike retrieval? Usually, I always have to do that. I haven't changed the setting, I didn't turn it off, but for some reason that has just occurred to me that we didn't have to actually pick the bike up. So right now we invalidated this lap, but of course we weren't going to improve on this lap regardless. What I am curious to see now, with 1 and a bit minutes remaining of the session, we might be able to get across the line here and still continue a lap. I need to look into this. We have to stay focused here. We might have to put it up to power setting 3 to actually be able to tackle that. I'm going to jump into power setting 3 and let's go for it. I've gone completely wide there just to get off the track. Actually, we need to try and steal a bit of time here. Maybe we'll try and cut a corner once or two. We'll see what we can do. Now onto the left-hand side of turn 12. We completely butchered that. Oh my god! Oh, this is session over. What a disaster for the World Championship leader. I think he's feeling the pressure, let's be honest. He is really not himself this weekend in Aragon. We knew it was going to be a tough one for him, but he is certainly not fighting back as we expected. But shout out to Darren Binder for taking pole position. That man is on a charge right now with all the momentum in his hands. Gabriel Rodrigo in 2nd place from John McPhee, 3rd on the front row by 34 thousandths of a second behind teammate Darren Binder. So guys, thank you very much for watching as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment and subscribe. Be sure to stay tuned and stay ace for 8 PM's upload. That's when the race will occur. But upon that note guys, thanks for watching and ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.